What's up, everybody? Before we get going, got to give a huge shout out to our Patreon subscribers. Thank you to Tony, Starla, Sam, Luke, Jacob, and Tyler. Listen, you guys are missing out over there, right? We got ad-free episodes over there on our Patreon now. Come join the family. Come throw $1 at our face. No, but thank you guys so much. We appreciate everybody who listens. Also, if you want to come check out the Discord, you can click the link in the episode notes here. Also, like I said, if you want to be a part of the Patreon, throw $1 at our face. You can find out as well. But anyways, enough of that stuff. We got very special guests joining us later on in the episode. One of the Amazon drivers out in Los Angeles, California, Tony Deleon, will be joining us in a little while. But before that, guys, we got buyout talk. Obviously, we know a little bit more now than we did previously. I just got back from vacation. Luke's over here ready to start another week. I unfortunately have to go back to work. But guys, this is episode 158. Here we go. We got to this one address. I said, this one goes around back. He went around back, boom, drove off, left them right at the stop.
That was after getting hit by a car.
You've gotten hit by a car?
I ended up drinking 24 Bud Lights in about 48 minutes. Drunken nomad stumbles out in the road and he hit me going 30 miles an hour.
What's up, everybody, and thank you for joining us on another episode of All in a Delivery. This is episode 158. Back from vacation. Luke's over here just waiting for me to call him out here. Guys, let's go around the screen, shall we? To my co-host down in West Virginia.
Fuck.
Luke, come here. Let me see you. How are you, buddy?
Dude, I am doing well. It's kind of wild. These last two episodes we've recorded, when you've done 158 episodes, you've recorded every day that ends with Y. And we've recorded on all of them more than a few times. But these last couple, these have been, but it worked out so well. And you'll get to hear our interview with Tony here momentarily. But I'm doing well. I'm just not too excited to get started with a new week. I've been getting, like, you've been on vacation. I've been just getting steadily my ass kicked by cardboard. But I mean, it's not been terrible. But I've been zapped these last 3 weeks, and I've got my own vacation coming up at the end of August, and I can't get here soon enough. But yes, I'm doing good, brother.
Hell yeah. Yeah, dude, not looking forward to going back to work. Nobody is. But dude, yeah. So vacation was good. It was good. We left Friday night. Not this Friday, obviously. This was last week. But we left on a Friday night. We ended up getting out of the house around like 7:45. Kids are already bathed in their pajamas. It's supposed to be like an 8.5 hour drive down to Virginia Beach from my parents' place. From my place to my parents' place. And so we're just like, drive overnight, let the kids sleep kind of thing. And me, it was a hot day on that Friday. So like, just head down, hustling, bustling through work. I'm sweating, obviously. And like I come home and I'm like, all right, let's load up the car. And throw the roof carrier on top and throw everybody's suitcases up there and shit. Like, this is my kid's first real vacation, like real vacation. Like, we're driving, we're going to be in the car for 8.5 hours getting down to my parents' house. Like, that's a long time for a 6 and 4-year-old to be in the car, and not only having one kid, but I matter having 2 kids. And it's just like, damn. But I mean, we stopped. Of course, like, we told the boys, like you do, as we got told before we left to go on vacation or on a long trip. It's like, everybody use the bathroom before you go, So like here I am, like telling the boys, I'm like, yo, go make pee-pee happen, boys. Go. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care if you don't have to go. I don't have to go. I don't want to go. You know, and I
It all
heard that
comes
from
full
one of my
circle.
boys. Right. I heard that from one of my boys, and I'm like, you better go to the bathroom. I don't have to go. And I was like, fine. I was like, you better not tell us you have to go. Buddy, 25 minutes into the trip. 25 minutes into the trip. There's my 4-year-old. Dada. Yeah, bud. I gotta go pee pee. I was like, yeah, damn it. I knew it. I told you to make pee pee happen. But like,
Oh man, it's
dude.
almost like you wish you could bet on it. You know it's going to happen. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Exactly. So like, you know, we're going down the New York State Thruway over here on 87 and just went through like a work zone, 1-lane work zone. I told my wife, I was like, well, she drove the first half of the trip. And I told my wife, and I was like, pull over here, just pull over far on the shoulder, just past the work cone. So people, you know, they'll see you before they switch back into the slow lane, you know, so I'm like, just pull over here, you know, pull over quick. And, you know, help out, unbuckle my 4-year-old on the shoulder, let him pee right there on the side of the road, get back in your car seat. So it's like, oh, dude. And then like after that, though, it was pretty good. They were pretty good. And we got to some rest stop in Jersey on the Jersey Turnpike. And, you know, everybody kind of had to go to the bathroom. It was like midnight. My dog's like wants to go probably too. Oh, that's right. We took the dog with us. And so, dude, it was just awesome. So, you know, my wife drives the first half. Halfway from us is about Dover, Delaware. And so, you know, she and I, you know, switched seats. I drove the last half from like probably from like 1:45 till we got to my parents' house at like 5:30 a.m. that morning. So, yeah, I mean, it was a blast, dude. I beached. I beached the first day.
Pictures looked
Yeah.
like you guys had a good time, man, and I'm
We
happy
did.
that you did because
We did,
it's
man.
always like, dude, when you have a stretch of work, when it's like, dude, when you have a vacation, because that's the thing. That's the thing sometimes, you know, and everybody has the vacations that don't go as they would have wanted it to or go as planned. So everybody has those. So you never like it really is. It was good to see like the videos of you guys driving the dune buggies and then Xander and Grant like them like. It was good to see you guys that it was a good one because I know that work's been fucking rough and so yeah, man, I was happy. I was happy to see, and I was over here just jamming a little bit more to music than normal. But other than that, I was just fucking sweating, cardboarding it. But I was, yeah, dude, it looked like you guys had a great time, and the trip. So yeah, that's a formidable trip, man. That's longer. That's longer than any I've taken Willow. We've had on it's supposed to be a 6-hour drive, but it was like a 9-hour drive. But because you know, but I
I know.
to have that long of a trip with like that can make or break a lot. Like, dude, especially going down because that's when you're like you haven't even got started yet, and you're just sitting there like, damn. But yeah, I'm glad that it. Yeah, you missed kind of the unveiling of the buyouts technically. I'm sure, but I mean, obviously, with the digital world we lived in, you were well informed.
Yeah.
But so let me because we were going to discuss a little bit more with the buyouts. I think everybody knows kind of the number now because they've been sent where it's $1,800 per year worked. And before we get into that, I was just curious, what did your dad have to say about it being a retired driver himself? What was his thoughts?
No, I mean, obviously his first thought was, you know, like, what about the pension? You know, what about, you know, the benefits? If you decide to take the severance plan. And, but I mean, he wouldn't have taken it. You know what I mean? I feel like for the years that we put in, how much, you know, fucking blood, sweat, and tears, like, that we put into this job and how much has gone into everything, our 401k, our pension, like it's not worth it. It's not worth
I
it to
don't
take
think
it.
for anybody that wants to do this, the decision is their own, obviously, but I agree with you 100%. If you're not like on your way out or about to retire in a year, I don't see why you would even like if you have your pension and your everything maxed out, then take it. I mean, unless but I don't see like, I was putting some videos on the TikTok page, on the podcast page of TikTok about the buyouts, and obviously, as TikTok always is, the fucking comment sections are brutal. And you get people like saying you're going to get laid off, you're going to get, and we never know what the future entails. But for Dave and I, at the stages we are, like for me, I've been there 18 years, so that would be $36,000 before taxes. So we don't know what taxes.
Yeah.
Before taxes. So just the remainder of what we have in this contract that goes until 2028, just in that alone, say we would get fucking late, like say we would go bankrupt or something, hypothetically in 2028 UPS goes bankrupt and shuts down completely, we're not fucking driving anymore. That contract from then until now is still worth a hell of a lot more than what the fucking buyout would be. Because even if our hours get cut, just with our wage we're making, like, dude, well, yeah, like it's pretty much a no brainer unless you want out that bad and you just will take a lump sum of money and don't care. If you're willing, dude, it's everybody's choice is their own. But the one thing, and I put this got a big response on the TikTok page, was that they are like applications and not just, it's not guaranteed that you would get approved for a buyout. It goes by the needs of the center. So obviously UPS still needs delivery drivers. And I feel like that's a narrative that's going out like right now. UPS isn't doing, they might not be doing what they were doing during COVID times, but UPS is still generating plenty of profits. We're not in the red here. Mm-hmm. So they still need drivers. They still need people. So even it's going to vary. I would assume probably seniority will play some type of role in it, even though it's not really affiliated with the union at all. But I feel like it's those drivers they probably are targeting anyway, because they're the ones that probably, I don't know, that we've already gotten into that on a couple episodes, but yeah, we know it's $1,800 per year worked, and your pension, whatever you have put in, you keep as is. And I think we have a handful of drivers at my building that are going to take it. I think we got like 4 that I know of. All of them are older.
I haven't been to work yet, so
you'll have to do. I'm sure
I'll come back.
Yeah, they'll fucking rumor mills will be flowing, I'm sure.
I can't wait to hear everything that everybody has to say. But yeah, that's really it for the buyout stuff. I know we've spent this would be the 3rd episode talking about it, but now we know exactly.
We wanted to put this in
what's going to happen,
because the facts are completely out there. Most of the bulk of this episode is the very good interview that we had with Tony, and you'll get to hear that here and momentarily. But we wanted to make sure to throw in, now that we know everything and the years worked, and our advice would be to, if you're asking us, and we're not going to do it, so we're still going to be here. The only thing I will say before we stop of a plus, this will help with layoffs, because inevitably we are going to lose volume, and there are going to be people that are going to get like sent back to, like, we've talked about the 25,000 Teamster jobs, and their UPS is obviously shrinking that company, and it doesn't think they're going to honor that 25,000. We've said that repeatedly now. So if anything of the buyouts, like if anybody does take them, they will be probably doing, even though it's not, the fact of the matter is, and I don't want to get too much into it because it's just kind of is what it is. We hired a lot of drivers. There are a lot of COVID drivers that the volume of COVID is not there anymore. And UPS, rather, I don't make the decision with Amazon. I would like for everybody to keep working, but with their decision with cutting out bulk packages to say that don't make a bigger revenue, the jobs are going to suffer a little bit. So this, at least, if anything, this should help with that. But time will tell, but we just don't know. Now that we got all the facts of the numbers and everything, we just wanted to make sure to throw our last few cents in there with that.
Yep, exactly. Couldn't have said it better myself there, buddy. So I think we'll end that one on that one. Let's go over to our interview with Tony Deleon. But first, let's hear a word from our sponsor. And guys, our guest today, he resides over in LA. He is also an Amazon delivery driver. Please welcome to the show, Tony Deleon.
Perfect.
Yes.
Yeah. Spot on. Yeah.
Awesome.
Nice.
Welcome,
nice.
Welcome.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me.
Dude.
Oh, absolutely, man. And if you've listened to any episodes, Dave is pretty notorious for fucking up words and names. So I'm glad he nailed that. 100%. But not to throw you under the bus.
It's okay,
brother,
though.
but,
It's everybody knows.
Stats don't lie.
Good thing I didn't give you my government name. Because Tony's short for Antonio, and it's my middle name. My first name is Elio, but it's spelled Helio. Growing up, people always hacked it, especially like teachers. They'd be like, "Hello." Now I'd have to correct them. It's Elio. The H is silent.
Elio, yeah.
Tony's fine. Let's keep it with Tony.
Hey, I mean, I believe that's what a lot of people know you by on social media.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Well, welcome, buddy. We are happy to have you here. And
thank you.
Yes, and thank you for joining us. So thank you for taking the time, man. So what we like to do here with our guests, as everybody knows, take us back, man. Take us back. Born and raised in LA?
Yeah, born and raised in LA. Grew up in part of Los Angeles called the San Fernando Valley, the 818.
Okay.
Van Nuys, California. And yeah, I mean, just, middle class working family. Went to school. I have a PhD, public high school diploma. It's as far as I got. But I mean, other than that, just pretty simple. I mean, grew up playing sports.
What sports did you play?
To be honest, I like to consider myself athletic. I know how to play basketball, football. The main sport is soccer. I do play baseball. My mom kind of forced me into playing Little League, but my love for soccer was just, you couldn't take that away from me. So I wish I would have stuck with baseball a little bit more. Maybe played a little bit in high school. But yeah,
I understand with soccer though, dude, because I was going to say real quick, because my nephew, my oldest nephew he's about to, God, it just blows my mind to say it out loud, but he's about to be 17, but he plays in high school and has played most of his life, because when I was a kid, soccer wasn't really, they didn't have, like, I don't even know if they had any leagues in Morgantown where our WVU University's at or anything, but I'll tell you right now, my nephew at his age group, they've had it, from the time I think you can start when you're 4, and as a kid, if soccer would have been available to me, I totally probably would have played it over Little League too, because it seems so much more fun. I mean, I was playing right field, just sitting there, not getting any balls hit to me when I was playing
Yeah.
Little League. I probably would have, but I was curious because I was a football guy. Basketball is my favorite sport, but I was way better. I was more built for football. I was a lot better at it.
Yeah, and I was good at baseball. Like I had a pretty strong arm. I had a cannon, I would say. But like I said, like I'd prefer to be in soccer. But now that I'm getting older, I'm about to be 31 next month, and my body is not the same as when it was when I was 15, 16. So playing Sunday league is out of the question. Like I'm not. So now I'm more into like Thursday, Friday night softball. It's a little more easy on the body, so I'm doing that right now as a hobby.
It's
I was
funny
actually
because go ahead, Dave.
going to say I saw your story of you in the batting cages hitting the
Yeah,
softballs.
today I went today. Yeah, I went
and
today.
I also play in a softball league on Wednesday nights, and it's like
Nice.
my little summer thing I do, and get to play some softball. So
Yeah.
fucking love it. It's just something fun to do, It's like you said, the body's getting older. I'm gonna be 38 in November, so it's like, I feel you. The body gets older, and it's just
31 though, when you said that, it made me think, because I was like 31 was when it started to hit me of getting, because I'm 40, but so when I turned 30, like I was active in my 20s, you know what I mean? I boxed for a little bit, and I played in 2 full contact football games that were kind of like quote unquote alumni football. It may as well have been like something like semi-pro, but it was just I was way if I would like have any part of my brain back then now, I would have been like, dude, don't beat the shit out of yourself. You're going to regret it one day, especially with the job that we do, like I'm in and out of a truck and going up steps all the time. But when I turned 30, I remember it was like, and I'm not saying this to discourage you, because I wore myself out. 30, I was like, oh, this isn't bad. I didn't feel any different. But when I hit 31, it was like, that was when it, like, I got up just from sleeping and was like stiff. And I was like, oh shit. Like it started to creep in, like what? But I'm not, so I'm just saying, you might be close. You might be
Yeah. No,
close.
like I go to the gym. I'm fairly active. But I think 2 months ago in May, we just had an Amazon UPS football game. Uh, and I was a little sore from that. So it was a bunch of running, and I was like, I'm glad we did flag football, because tackle would have. I don't think I would have made it.
yeah.
So that was,
So
I was going to ask you about that, because I thought, do you, because Daniel didn't play in that, right? Dave, he went to it. He watched
He
it.
watched. Yeah, he was watching.
Watch. Okay.
Yeah, he was watching.
So that's how so you know Daniel then? Do you guys know each other?
I met him that exact day.
Okay.
I showed up, and I just saw a bunch of UPS drivers from different hubs. So I just kind of like introduced myself, kind of expressed how grateful I was for them to come out, because I really didn't when I first made the event. Didn't expect I wasn't expecting that turnout.
Sure.
And especially like it was just out of the blue. I started talking some smack about UPS in my videos, and UPS drivers like to talk shit back. So I got
They're
I got that
clapping
one.
back in the
You got it.
comments.
I got that one guy from Florida, crazy. One day I made a video, he responded to it, and then I responded back. We connected from there. We kind of talked over the phone, and he was like, "Let's keep this going. Like, let's, make it kind of fun for people to watch." And because at the end of the day, the way I see it is Amazon, UPS is like Coke and Pepsi. You got a rivalry going,
Exactly.
but at the same time, we are we pretty much do the same job, and you know, UPS drivers disagree. You guys say you guys do more, which is fine, but at the end of the day, collectively, the main goal is for us to provide for our families and
Exactly.
get back home safely.
Right. And that's
And
even what you said off air too, which nobody heard, but UPS says the same exact thing. It's just something that UPS teaches like all their drivers and everything is literally, don't forget your most important stop. Your
yeah,
most important stop is always the last stop. It's home.
yeah.
It's us getting home. And it's just like you said it all fair. It's the same exact thing that they tell us as well.
Yeah, and I
I
used to be. Sorry, go ahead.
no, I was just going to say of the drivers that would say that this may not be a popular take, but it's a factual one for some, and they would know who they are. But like, I think that there's days. I think with each, no matter what, you have busy days and you have light days. Some days are longer than others, but there are some things because we have a lot of shit going on right now with us with like we got buyouts going on that's never been done before and all this stuff because of the union and the company kind of colliding. And I will say that there are plenty of drivers that may like there are drivers out there that the union, the Teamsters are there to look out for us. That's no doubt about it. There are drivers out there that abuse that. And if they had that taken away, I'm just saying, a lot of them would probably be singing a different tune. But so yeah, if they would say that, we all do our fair share of shit. We may, like you said, there's going to always be kind of a rivalry there, but I've seen Amazon trucks pretty packed full in videos too. So I mean, I know you get it just like we do.
Yeah, for sure.
And I mean, so going back to the game though, the football game, that's actually funny because I mean, I'll tell you, we saw it. We saw the post. We saw people sharing the post. So I mean, you definitely created a wave there, and that's pretty awesome that you got the turnout. It sounds like you guys wanted.
I mean, I would say maybe about 50 or so showed up.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and thankfully with the help of the Teamsters, they really, I mean, because they have their own battle with Amazon, like they're trying to
Mm-hmm.
unionize, the drivers and stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
it's a slow process, and it's obviously a way to, you know, get people together and kind
Of
of
course.
inform them about the
Right.
benefits of why the union it would be good. And like I tell most drivers, like I don't know too much about the union, so I don't want to spread information that I'm not 100% sure about.
Mm-hmm.
So having their help really just to kind of share information was I think kind of it went hand in hand, so
Yeah,
they helped me
Yeah.
with like food and all that stuff. So yeah, it
that's
was
awesome, dude.
pretty cool to see the unity that UPS drivers have because guys that didn't know each other, just because they heard of UPS, they showed up, and you could just see the unity you guys have.
Mm. So let me ask you about that too, because obviously that's been a big talk, like you said, for the last probably few years now, at least about Amazon getting unionized. What's your take on that?
Uh, so I mean, I'm gonna go back a little bit because before Amazon, I never saw myself, being a delivery driver. The
Hmm.
way I got introduced to it was, um, so in 2016, I started working at Home Depot.
Hmm.
2 years into that, I got promoted, was a supervisor. So I was a supervisor for about 3 years. I ended up um, getting surgery on my shoulder because I had a torn labrum. I
Mm,
was playing softball and went into slide to third base. I had already dislocated it prior to that, but when I
mm,
went into a slide, my shoulder popped out and had to get surgery. So I took maybe like a good 5 6 months from my job. From there, I was demoted because I took a little bit longer than I should have.
Mm,
And when I went back to work, it was just completely different. Animosity with other supervisors that I used to work with. Now I was under them. They kind of were, I don't know if they've maybe felt intimidated with me working for them or just maybe that I was trying to take control when I'm not supposed to be.
mm,
So one day I ended up getting written up and I was like, you know what? Fuck this. I don't need this job. I quit. From there, I just kind of stayed home for a while. My girl, she was she was looking for a job and she's like, I'm gonna go work at Amazon. And I was like, doing what? And then she's like, delivering packages. I'm like, why? You're not gonna work there, like, you know. But being the dominant one, and you cannot control a Mexican woman. So she she pretty much got the job and all that stuff. So after a while, she was working there. We went to the gym. I ran into an old high school buddy. Asked him what he did for work, and he was like, "Oh, I'm a dispatch for Amazon DSP." And I was
mm.
like, "Oh, cool." So I got his number. A few months later, I hit him up. I was like, "Hey, bro, by any chance are you hiring?" Hired me on the spot, and that's how I started working as a delivery driver. Um,
That's awesome.
and you know, going back to Home Depot, like they're anti-union
Hmm.
and they have trainings on why the union is bad. You got to pay dues, you got to do this and whatever.
Mm,
So I've always thought the union was not a good thing,
sure.
and just I didn't know both sides of the story. So now working for Amazon, I saw the difference with the way Amazon as the big household name has third parties working for them.
Hmm.
And
Right.
I try to look at it as two different perspectives. One as the employee side, and one as a business side. As the business side, it's a perfect model for them. Why? Because they could pretty much control a lot without having to lose, or be responsible for a lot of things like
Hmm.
accidents or vans getting destroyed or having
Right.
to hire their drivers. They pretty
Right.
much have people do the dirty work, and
Yep.
they pretty much just oversee and make sure that their products are getting, they're meeting the demand that people are expecting.
Sure.
And we pretty much do that. But as an employee side, I do see the advantage or not the advantage, but the how we're taking advantage of when it comes to the routes,
Mm,
the workload, and the pages not being enough to, I would say, to make it a career.
mm.
And especially living in California, it's not, a dollar is not what it was back in the 90s. You
Right.
can't
Very true.
you can't stretch a dollar out as much as you would back then. Um, and then just with everything going up, gas, eggs the other day I saw was like $18 by the dozen, which is crazy.
Good.
So the way I see it is I would agree with you know drivers unionizing just because I pretty much compare it to UPS. Like we do the same job. If we kind of have their model, why wouldn't it benefit us? If UPS drivers talk so highly about being a union and how the union backs them up, why aren't Amazon drivers seeing that and being like, what, let's just take action? But at the end of the day, I think it's
Mm,
more just the intimidation of maybe Amazon, their DSPs, they and just not being informed. So, but I
mm.
think it's kind of and the way I like to reference it is if you've seen the movie The Bug's Life and that one scene where
Yep.
all
I know.
the where the guy's talking about if one stands up and they all stand up, they wouldn't be able to
Right.
control everybody or fire
Right.
everybody.
They could defeat the
um
grasshoppers.
yeah, because at the end of the day, it's like I forgot who I told this to. I think it was one of the Teamsters. But I told them, like, if how do you hurt Amazon? And the way you do that is by pretty much hurting their pockets or and their name is next day delivery.
Mm-hmm.
If you put a dent into that, and the way that next day delivery happens is your drivers.
Right.
If you don't have the drivers to meet that demand, that's pretty much your whole business. So yeah, that's pretty much my take on it.
I got you.
I think the one thing that I like the dues thing, you definitely do pay into union dues and stuff, but the one I would always say that it would be because of what if it wasn't for like wage and benefits and all that comes on that end more than with UPS. I mean, UPS has obviously got to succeed and do well themselves because one can't live without the other, as a retired center manager of mine said so many times. But there's an obstacle that, like, we were lucky on our end because the founder of UPS, Jim Casey, wanted his employees unionized, and he actually brought the Teamsters in at the very big. I mean, I don't know if it was at the very, very beginning, but it was right when it was getting started underway. And it's always been like that, even when UPS went public and became a lot more corporate. And we just talked about that on recent episodes, but they were already in, like, for that. And I know with like Jeff Bezos, like because it's funny when you said with Home Depot they were anti-union because their former CE or CFO is our CEO now, and she feels the same way that like Jeff Bezos would, but that's just been established. And they would have to break it, like, contract wise. Like, that would be the thing now that would make it hard for, like, the power. Like, I believe that you guys can do it. I believe the teams. But the battle is a lot more because it's just. I mean, Jeff Bezos is worth. I mean, dude, he's worth more than UPS as a corporation. So it's just like that's a battle that I don't. It would literally have to be so many people, but it can be done. It definitely can be done.
Yeah.
And I still believe in it, and I hope for it for you guys. But it comes with negatives as well. But overall, the positives outweigh the negatives in my eyes. I would say Dave would say the same. But yeah, I hope that it works out.
And the way I see it, because the people that I talk to from the Teamsters, and they kind of break it down to me, and they're kind of how you said, Bezos, he has more than enough. I saw a post on Instagram that said that he could buy, I don't know how many iPhones or how many planes or how many watches, and he still have more than enough to, I don't know, something like that.
Yeah,
But
it's crazy,
crazy
number,
world.
I'm sure. Yeah.
yeah. And the way you see it also is, when you look at their stock, Amazon stock I think is like at $226 a share. UPS is $99 a share. So, but the thing with that is, Amazon collectively, they have a way to meet, the the marketplace, um what the marketplace demands.
Right.
You need something, you could get it off of Amazon. So, like Amazon, they have a system where they're able to make profit, but also I would say be able to pay their employees, from the warehouse to drivers to everything in
They absolutely.
altogether, and still be able to make profit. Because when you
Yep.
go into business, you have to look at your process versus your losses. And when I was going into Home Depot, I was trying to get up into management, and that's what they talked about. You got to look at your P&L, your profit and your loss. But the way they'd rather have it is, keep the profits and take away any type of expenses. And the biggest expense that they could pay out is their employees. And that's where, um I think it sucks, but I do think it's doable. But it's just kind of having to be more of a. I feel like if I could be more of an advocate, I would. But at the same time, I have to kind of
Right. I
do it
understand that.
very do it soft or under the radar, I would say.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, understandable for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like it. I don't, it's just one of them things that, yeah, I mean, absolutely, wage wise. I mean, I mean, for what they could probably, who knows how many times over they could pay the warehouse workers and the delivery drivers and everybody involved, and they would still, be. It's just one of those things, like it sucks, and that's the part that really makes it hard to gather ground, because they're able to do that. Like if they see somebody gaining too much momentum, or a group of people, they can just let them go. And that, I don't, man, like I wouldn't want to be. I don't think I could ever be in a position like that. Would I love to have the money? Sure. But I'll tell you right now, I don't know. I don't think I could be in a position of just firing people for wanting more, especially if I had that kind of wealth. I mean, I would. I'm not. I don't want to go on a rant about the man, because I'm not putting you in that position, but damn, he just had a wedding, and how much money was spent on that wedding? And it was like $50 million.
Like 50 million, I think.
Yeah, dude. Like, as I'm just saying, like, I don't know how to, like, I can't get in that man's head, but yeah, it would be hard for me to be like, oh, they want to. Oh no, I'm just going to fire them, not worry about it. Keep extra. How much extra do you need? But that's a whole nother fucking.
But that's why
that goes
he,
bigger.
he
Yeah.
has the money. Why he does. That's exactly why.
No, it's I guess,
but
it's true.
yeah. But yeah, dude. So you said that happened back in 2017 when you got to Amazon?
No, Amazon, I think it was. I was at Home Depot for about 5 years, so I would say 2022,
Okay.
around there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you got in after the COVID nonsense and
Yeah. Right after COVID.
all of that craziness. So now, do you drive? What do you drive? Do you drive one of those vans, or like a box truck, or one of those big 20-foot?
Yeah. So like I tell everybody, because everyone always tells me, why don't you do a step van? You should drive the step van. You should drive the electric vans. And I'm like, hey, I only drive what they have and what they give me. So every DSP is different. Mine happens to only have those 4 transits. We have maybe 2. They're called CDVs. Those are kind of like the box truck, kind of, merged with the Ford Transit. But other than that, we have maybe about 28 vans. So we're a pretty small DSP.
Oh, okay, awesome. So because I'm just thinking about like your videos and everything like that, and like you do, and I mean, hey, for the people that don't know, I should have mentioned this. I should have mentioned this off the top, obviously, but if you guys haven't already, definitely go and give Tony a follow. You guys can find him on Instagram at _ Tony Deleon, the DELEON, Deleon. And is it the same for TikTok too?
Yeah, same for TikTok and YouTube.
Cool. Yeah, I should have mentioned that off the top, dude. My apologies. So
you're good, man. You're good.
Because I mean, obviously, you said you met Daniel, so I'm sure you and Daniel follow each other. We've had Daniel on the podcast twice. And
I followed him a little shortly after the football game. So
the game.
Cool. Yeah, so I'm sure some people have already heard of you, but again, dude, thank you.
I'm sure they have, because I saw that like when I first saw the video I was talking about to you before we went on about one with your daughter, when you're talking about when she said not to go to work. I saw I don't ever, because I do, so our TikTok page of the podcast, I'll go in spurts, because it's more of the podcast, but I don't have my own TikTok page, so I'll use that. But being I'm being I'd have to call myself an amateur video maker at this point, and I've only been making videos now for about 7 years. Yeah, I'm just hitting the amateur status. But that one, I saw. So when you have a video on Instagram, and that one with your daughter, that's what I said. Not when you go to work. And I was telling you, my daughter being 3 has been hammering me with that lately. And that obviously resonated with a lot of people because I saw that had like over 9 million views on Instagram. So when you have a video like that, do you just when you like look at your phone, does it just have like a does it just like, hey, you got 5 million notifications, or what? How the hell does that even work?
No, I turn them off. Yeah, I turn them off because it's way too many. It's way too
Dude,
many.
yeah, that would be
Your phone will blow
insane.
up.
I couldn't imagine.
Yeah, I mean, like when I open the app, I'll see the like, oh, you have notifications, but yeah, to have it like on the screen, I don't think I'd be able to handle it. Like I'm very, like I don't even like those like the red bubble when you get a message. Like
Yeah.
I don't like that stuff. My girlfriend, she has like emails. It has like 10,000. That's my biggest pet peeve.
Oh my
And
god,
so
dude!
yeah.
You ever like,
My
hey
wife's
man,
not
can I
got that
borrow your
many
phone
probably.
quick? And then you like see the person's phone, they got like 185 text messages sitting there, and you're like,
She has 300.
no, dude, it's my pet peeve
Dave's
too. with people.
low
I'm
ball
like,
with 185.
oh, dude, when I
Yeah.
see that shit, I'm like, what do you do? God, so
Yeah, I'm like,
funny.
I
crazy.
mean, I'll let a couple go here and there, but after, yeah, I mean, I don't after, but I don't know. It's just if you have that many, I don't know. It depends on if I had 300 text messages, it would probably only be from a group of about 4 people. Just would it add up to 300? But I couldn't imagine seeing. But I did.
Funny.
But my emails, I'm bad. My emails are. If you look every time when I sign on to do this, it's like basically the only time I open my email up. When I bought my house and got my place, I was getting a loan to do some upgrades and stuff to this place, and I actually had to use my email for the first time aside from this, and I was like, holy shit. Said I actually got to pay attention because it's going to get buried. It's like I'm going to be digging through thousands of spam emails trying to find some important document shit. But yeah, that's my. I can't say it's a pet peeve because I'm bad with the emails. They're terrible.
Love it.
yeah, but I mean, yeah, with that video, I did not expect it to reach that many people. It's yeah, I have no words, honestly. And it's a lot of dads, a lot of
Yeah.
I
dads.
think that's what I was, dude. I think that because it's one of those things when you see it, it's like, and for me being, I mean, that's my daughter was my first. She was the one who made me a dad, so I'm still pretty new. But just seeing like, it's like you. I don't know how to explain it. If it's like it doesn't make you feel like, I don't feel like it makes, as a dad, it doesn't make you feel better as a dad, but you're like, man, you know how that feels as a dad when your daughter says that. You're like, damn. So it makes you feel, it's like you feel for them, but it's like you don't, it's a hard, dude. It's like you just want to, especially with my daughter's age, like she's really not, I can't explain that to her. I can explain it to her and she'll understand, but like the next day, it's out to, so yeah, I mean, it's just, I feel like that definitely would resonate. Anybody that's a dad has had their child, son or daughter, say that to them, to everybody. It's just as dads, though, it's just what we it's what we do as men, and as women as well as mothers and fathers. Push on, but yeah, definitely, man. It was I I've been getting really emotional lately. Seeing, I swear to God, my algorithm's been fucking with me because I've had more. I had this video last night when our daughter was asleep. My wife and I were upstairs, and it was like it was this boy and this girl putting out their toys for a donation kit, and it was like what I see or what they see putting these toys out, that it said what I see as the parent, and it went back to when they were like babies and toddlers playing with it. I was like, oh my God, I can't watch. I mean, I was a mess, dude. My algorithm's just being brutal right now.
Yeah, I mean, like my kid, like, I mean, I got a 6-year-old and a 4-year-old boy, both boys that just run the house wild, and like my wife will call me every time she picks them up from daycare, and I'll be on the road, and my 4-year-old would always be like, how many stops do you have left? Because like they know, like if I say like a certain number, they're like, I get to see daddy tonight, and then I mean, my kids, people think me and my wife are crazy for this, but my kids are in bed by like 7:30, 8 o'clock every night, and they're lights out.
All
And
power to you, bro.
thank
Honestly.
you.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the missus, dude. She held it down,
Yeah.
but so like they could tell by like how many, whatever my number is, and then wait for my wife's reaction, and then they'd be like, oh yeah, you're gonna get to see daddy tonight, and dude, yeah. I think every parent that does a job that's not like, I mean, any parent that does any job, it's they can relate, and that's probably why that video it hit home with like a lot of people.
Yeah, and like yesterday I got off, and like going off to what you were saying, like I called my girl, and I'm like, hey, I just got off of work, I just got in the car, I'm leaving. I told her I'm gonna go to the gym. All I just hear in the background is my daughter go, no. She's like, no, you've been gone all day. I miss you. Please come home. And I was like, all right, I guess I'm going home. So no gym for me today. And it's like, those are the things that it's like, okay, like right now I gotta take advantage that she wants me to be home, because once she starts hitting those teenage years, I'm gonna be like, where'd the time go?
Right.
But yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly, dude. So true. So true. Luke, do you have any other questions for our guest here?
I think, like, I just out of curiosity, because I don't know how. So when you got, like, I've always been curious on, do you guys have, like, because you don't have, do you have like DOT? If people drive like box trucks, do they have DOT regulations where they have to be off the clock at certain times? Like, and do you have that same? If you're in a van, does that mean you could be delivering till like 11 o'clock at night because it's not a DOT vehicle? Or how does that work on your end? Like, do you have like an hour? Do you have like hourly wise? Is there like a set that you have during the week that you can? Because ours, like, we max out at like 60 if it would get there, but that's what we can do.
So like I said, every DSP is different. So, there's some DSPs that I've heard that they don't offer overtime. So, you have to be back by like 8 p.m. even if you have packages. Like they'll have you come back. There's other, companies that have 10-hour guaranteed. So if you finish early, you'll still get paid your 10 hours. But as far as for like me, I'm not DOT certified, but I'm always done by like my 7th, 8th hour. But for some, step van drivers, I've never really heard of any Amazon driver, especially like in my area, being out, late. I see FedEx like at 11 p.m.
Dude.
on my street,
Yeah.
and I'm like, how are you guys still out? I don't
You
know
do
how
too,
it works
Dave?
for them.
I mean, not 11, but like late.
I was gonna say I don't
Like
see
late.
them late here because see that must be a contractor thing because here I don't think they offer. I think it's like once you get to 8 hours, they take you off like I think that's what they do here. So I never see them out like they're never out late here. So that must be like a regional thing.
Mm.
That's pretty wild because I saw you agree with him. I was like, I've never.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
see 'em
not
out
like
late.
that here.
No. Gosh, it's crazy. I guess I have two questions. One,
Shoot.
have you like because UPS has such strict rules with like for instance, like, you know, we have in our package cars and those big brown trucks, we have like a middle door that separates the driving cab from the back where all the packages are, right? And in UPS we call it the bulkhead door. And
Mhm.
the bulkhead, you know, like the bulkhead always has to be closed. Seatbelts on, obviously, and for the safety reasons. But like, dude, I will see Amazon drivers driving down my street that have their side door of like the passenger van open. Like, what? What? Do you have an explanation for this besides like it'll make it faster because they don't have to open a door?
No, to me that's a bunch of bullshit. Like, and a lot of drivers when I talk about it, like they kind of get on me, like saying like, no, like it does make you faster and this and that, and I'm like, I literally I buckle my seatbelt, I
Yep.
close the door, and I'm still done in a matter of hours. So
Sure.
but I think it all has to do with your sense of urgency, how
Mm,
organized you are, because you can drive 30 miles over the speed limit, but it's not going to make you a faster delivery driver. As long as
mm,
you know, you're able to navigate, your area, be able to keep your stuff organized, like, but all that is just being unsafe, like,
yeah.
and I talk highly about, putting your seatbelt on right because we've had drivers that get into accidents and the seatbelt is what saves them, especially
Hmm.
the one that goes over the, your
Right.
your hip. Um, so
And um yeah, it's just like that. I've seen it not only on like on my street, but like all I picture is like them making a hard like left turn and all those boxes just right out the side door. Like that's how I envision it happening,
well, not only
you
that,
know.
like if you hit a speed bump, those I think they're on wheels. That could easily just
Oh, the
come
track.
right off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And if it falls on somebody or hits a car or just, you know,
Yeah,
but
that's a
that's
bad
the
deal.
thing, that's the thing where, you gotta like okay, so I've been a part of two DSPs. The first DSP that I was with, they went out of business because of all the damages drivers were making to the vans.
Oh.
And, you know,
So hold on, sorry to interrupt, but DSP stands for delivery service provider.
yeah, either provider or partner. I think it's
Okay.
provider.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
basically like
So,
the contractor
yeah.
that owns all the vans, just like it is with FedEx. Okay, cool. I'm sorry to interrupt, but go ahead.
Yeah.
So you had one
Well, I
that
think,
went out of business.
yeah, so they went out of business, but I had transferred to my new DSP a month before they went out of business. So some of the drivers that I used to work with, they told me they were like, yeah, the owner just came up to us one day and they were like, you got a month to find a new job because I'm closing it down.
Mm,
And they were like, you guys don't know how to take care of the vans, and that's pretty much, the hitting like the side rail, backing up into trees, and yeah, it's
gosh.
gotta take care of the vans. Gotta
Of
take care of the
course,
vans.
dude. I mean, like, so like, is it up to the DSP? So like, is it up to them if a driver stays or goes, or is that actually Amazon's like call?
I think it's Amazon's call when it has to do with like a safety violation.
Mm,
So since they have the camera that monitors, your speed,
yep.
your stop signs, red lights,
Yep.
if you're tailgating somebody,
Hmm.
I think when it comes to driving wise, or any type of, maybe customer feedback, you not leaving the package where a customer, you know,
Requested it. Yep.
as you
Yep.
requested it to be left. But when it comes to the DSP, I think they more have like your performance,
Mm.
or just, you know,
I
yeah.
was
But I mean,
sorry.
Amazon has a lot of control though.
Sure. That's good.
I gotta ask if you've ever seen this video. Did you ever see the? Because when you said customer feedback, it just made me think of this. Did you ever see the video of that woman getting out of that Amazon van when that was like being recorded from outside? That's been some
Yeah.
years ago. That wasn't recent.
Yeah. Yeah. When, he's being filmed from like the 15th floor of a high rise or something, and this woman steps out of the back of the van, and the guy's like, shuts the doors and
Yeah,
goes back in. Oh my God.
I made a video about that.
Dude, nice.
Let me see.
I'll have to
Let me see if I
check
can
it out.
find. It's an old one though. Let me see if I can find it.
Yeah, it's been a while
That's a few
ago,
years
man.
ago. Yeah. Boy, that was
I'm
a
so
talk.
glad you
I
made
was
it.
like,
I'm so glad you made a video to that. I'm gonna have to. That's great.
Oh, I'll find it
Yeah.
right now.
I had my old account. My first Instagram account got hacked, and I had made a video to that on that account. But yeah, we brought that up on here when that had happened. But that was, I don't know what episode that was, but that's been a minute. That's been a minute.
so,
I found it.
Oh, okay.
Here, look, watch. You guys see?
I got it. Yeah. I don't have any audio. I don't. Oh, no, I see it. Oh, I'm
What's-
seeing it. Okay. Oh, yeah, I saw
It
it.
says, it says when Amazon delivers more than smiles.
That's good.
So
Well, I think
good.
I was gonna put another one where it's like, it says, when you see your trainer from like something like that. I forgot, but yeah, I remember that video.
That's
yeah.
so good.
So, the podcast actually has, I don't know if you're familiar with Discord, but the podcast has a Discord chat. And, we mentioned on there earlier that, we were going to have, believe it or not, you're actually our very first Amazon driver we've ever had on the podcast. So,
I
think you-
told him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mentioned there.
and so, we asked the people in our chat there if they have any questions for you. And I have a couple. So,
Sure.
so this guy says, do you, where the fuck is it? Oh, are you allowed to park with traffic on the correct side of the road, or do they require you to park against traffic? Because we see that a lot.
Honestly, it's not really. I think it's just the driver's discretion. Like,
Mhm.
as long as it's safe.
Right.
For me, yeah, my light went out. For me, it's I always find a place to park, and
A safe
I
place to
never
park, yeah.
I never park on the wrong side of the street. I don't
Mhm.
know why I see a lot of drivers do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I always park on the right side of the street. Sorry, guys, my light. There you
That's
go.
okay.
No,
Yeah.
you're good, man.
Yeah, because we see it a lot. And like, it's crazy because obviously to us and being with UPS, UPS always teaches us to, never cross the vehicle in front of it. Always cross behind it because you can always see what's coming first on your left-hand side. Like if we got to cross the road or whatever. And then, we see like, for us, it's like we would joke about how like we're brainwashed from UPS. You know what I mean? Like UPS drills like safety. Like UPS drills that into our heads. And like we would always like joke about that. And like And then Amazon started delivering, at least in my area, probably about like 5 years ago, and is when they actually got here. And like, we would see him doing all this crazy stuff. How I mentioned the side door being open, the back side door being open to the van, and then driving and crossing traffic to park on the other side of the road, and then you're facing traffic when you got to pull back out. Like, yeah, it's like to us, like I said, safety being drilled into our heads from UPS. It's crazy to like
Yeah, well,
see that, dude.
yeah, I think that's on their part that's important because how else are you gonna get home the way you came into work? If you're not safe and you
Exactly.
cut corners and just try to do not a half-ass job, but just it's just a matter of time where cutting a corner is gonna cost you,
Mhm.
I don't know, it could cost you a long time out of a job, or you get fired from it. But I think UPS, drilling safety into their drivers is why you guys are, pretty
Well,
much. I don't know injury wise, how often drivers get injured, but Amazon, it's constant.
Hmm.
I don't feel like injury. I mean, we still there. They still have some accidents. I mean, there's always like there's a guy that is no longer. He didn't get fired for this, believe it or not. But I've told this story years ago. But he went through a church, and it was not. He didn't go through the church, but they had like an awning over top of where the entryway was, and the truck height was too tall. And when he hit it, instead of backing up, he just gunned it and like tore the whole thing down. And they replaced the whole roof and everything. And I always said like they probably were like speaking about how the roof needed replaced, and then this guy rips the awning off. But I mean, they still do happen, but it's just. Yeah, to drill it in there, it may get annoying at times, but it's definitely right, because like Dave said, when you see stuff out of the ordinary, like, and I'll see it more with FedEx down here than the Amazon, but with with a back door open or something, just like the seatbelt thing, it like. That one I don't understand, because I've heard of people like just leaving it buckled and sitting on it, and it's just like, and that one blows my mind, because everybody that's done this job long enough has had some close calls, and it's like, you know what I mean? That's one that really is unsettling. Definitely got to wear your seatbelt.
Yeah, and like going back to Home Depot, once you step into management, like my main focus was the safety of my associates,
Mm-hmm.
and especially working like in a retail. Home Depot has a lot of, because we would take apart the shelves, have to put it back, do the displays, like, when you walk in, you see Halloween, then all of a sudden you see Christmas.
Yeah.
We would take care
Right.
of all that shit. So I'd have to be like in the order picker, forklifts. So Home Depot was very big on safety, safety, safety.
Mm.
And you could get fired if you were not safe,
Mm.
which is completely different from Amazon. Like, you could cut so many corners, and, there's some
Yeah.
people that I'm surprised they still have a job. So,
I
yeah.
feel that. My last question was, so we like to always ask our guests if they have like a good helper story. Now, so do Amazon drivers ever have helpers?
Helpers. I mean, the only time like they get a helper is when they train somebody.
Okay.
But as far as like seasonal,
Yeah.
no, they don't get helpers.
Okay. So to switch up the question now, I have to ask, do you have any crazy, let's say crazy dog stories?
Crazy dog stories.
Running with the dogs while you're out there on the road.
Um, so I mean, I grew up with dogs, so I know kind of like not to panic.
Yep.
At the same time, so one time I was delivering to I kind of deliver in the Hollywood Hills area. A lot of times they do have long driveways.
Mm-hmm.
So I opened this, dialed in to get access into this home. Gates open, and I just see I don't know if I forgot if it was a German Shepherd just hauling ass down the driveway, barking.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, I had a big box with me, so I just stuffed that box right in his face. And luckily, I've never gotten bit, but I have heard guy getting bit in the nuts, and that
Oh
was I just I think he got
God,
bit, and then when he came back from his from that one time, he got bit again. Uh, so but luckily
no!
yeah,
Oh,
not in the
dude.
same place. I think in the
Yeah.
leg.
God.
We actually just had a driver up here, not in my center, but the next center over, who ended up getting bit in the nuts like about a month ago. Needed like 4 stitches. Like,
Uh,
yeah, dude. Oh God. I mean, same thing here. I've been delivering for almost 11 years now, and knock on wood, have not gotten bit yet. Luke, on the other hand, tells every animal out there in West by God, Virginia, to say, "Come here, let me see you." Like, Luke is such an animal guy. Like a horse, a cow, whatever it is, a pig, like whatever he sees.
I've never been
Come here,
bit
let me
by
see you.
I've been bit by a lot of dogs, but to say, I'll just tell this story real fast and summary, and then we could. But I used to have this guy that had it was a bull, and he just like ended up it was like became sentimental to him, and he had this thing for years. Now it wasn't like a long horned bull or anything. It didn't have any horns or nothing, but it was like kind of fucking domesticated because it was more like a pet. So this thing weighed like 4,000, 5,000 pounds. It was fucking huge. And I have the bright idea to just go to take it because I've like gotten friendly with this thing. I put my arm around it to take a selfie. And like, because its head's over, like it's just got this thin barbed wire fence and that's it. And this thing, dude, like I'm fucking stepping up and I've got my arm around this fucking thing to take a selfie. And it like dips its head. It dips its head and put like I feel like its nose like right above my ass, and it just fucking flicks me and sends me fucking flying. Now, dude, I'm like 6'1", 260 pounds. Like I'm not little, and that thing with the flick of its head. The flick of its head set me off my feet, and I remember thinking, like, dude, if this thing would have hit me in the head, I might have broke my neck and died. Like, this was the dumbest thing. And that was after that. I was like, yeah, I won't do that anymore. that was my one. Yeah, that was a close call.
oh, that's funny.
God. Yeah. Yeah, dude. It's always got to be aware of those dogs, and hopefully, I mean, I didn't ask this, but are you on the same route usually?
Lately I have been. I think we've been having the same area now for about um I would say since January.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and kind of going off on, Amazon does change our area, you know, out of the year maybe like twice, maybe 3 times.
Mm.
Um, but just before we got moved, I was delivering in the Palisades area. So
Okay.
literally
Oh,
where I
shit.
was delivering, that whole route that I had burned, houses, businesses, and I think the day or the weeks that when the fire was going on, and I was like, I know that area, I know that area. It really kind of, because you become a part of this community
You become part of
that
Right.
the
you're
family,
delivering to.
absolutely.
You see people, and you're like, you see their houses, and how it was a beautiful area, beautiful community. And it struck a chord with me where I was devastated for them because they've everything they've had, especially kids that they're growing up, and out of nowhere they just lose everything.
Right.
It was hard to see. It was hard to see that.
Mm.
I couldn't imagine, man, because that's like when you have that kind of when you have that kind of devastation of something like that, like it just burns, it's like everything's gone. It just looks like it's like a bomb landed or something, and just dude, it I couldn't imagine having like, yeah, that would have been. And when we had Daniel on, that wasn't long after that it all had started, and it was just, yeah, that would be. I mean, to say that would be hard. There's not even. I don't even know if there's a word. I couldn't imagine, dude. So yeah, but you're right. When you're in this, like you see the same people, and you see, you are a part of the community. So that definitely, like, if that happened here, yeah, I couldn't imagine, dude. It'd be terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was just saying too, because like being on the same route or not just the same route, but familiar with the area, because then you kind of know like what house has what dogs. Oh, this house is cool with, those dogs are cool there. I mean, that's one of the one of the things that was difficult for what we call cover drivers over here at UPS. You know what I mean? Because you're on a different route almost like every day usually, unless someone's on vacation, then you're covering that route for the week. But like being in a different area like constantly, I think it's got to be so tough because you're not familiar with the dogs. You're not familiar with where the customer wants their package. You're not familiar with the area you're driving in. And yeah, dude. So knock on wood, you haven't gotten bit, and either have I. So knock on wood.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's crazy because like here where I've delivered, now that I've been going, I think I'm going on 3 years delivering.
Mhm.
I rarely see their dogs like in the yard.
Mm.
It's very rare. So like I feel like a lot of their dogs are inside the house.
Yep.
But like I feel with drivers that I hear from like Texas or like maybe like the countryside of where they deliver, the dogs are outside. They just run around, and they're outside. So
Yeah.
yeah. Luckily for me, they're tucked away and they're
There you
good.
go.
The apartments is where they have them, and they open the door and they're just creeping their
Right.
head.
Oh yeah.
That's kind of where they'll get you.
Yeah. Crazy. Oh yes.
Yeah.
Dude, I think that's gonna wrap it up for us here, man. We've taken up an hour of your time. I appreciate you coming on for sure.
For sure, yeah.
Tell everybody again, buddy, where everybody can find you. Come and follow you.
Yeah, so Instagram, TikTok, YouTube _Tony Deleon. I try to post every single day, at least 2-3 videos. I had a realization from the audience. So I try to stop posting so much about Amazon and try to like do more maybe like motivational stuff, the gym. I have 6 months sober, so I've been kind of sharing
Congratulations.
my
Awesome.
story.
Good for
Thank
you,
you.
man.
Thank you. I've been sharing my story and kind of my journey with sobriety. So if anyone has like, their struggles with that, but a lot of people they love the Amazon stuff. So I'm trying to incorporate all that, with it. So little by little, it's I'm gonna keep the Amazon stuff going. So
Definitely.
just to, for drivers to kind of, just get a laugh. I mean, that's mainly why I do it, is just to someone, just to be like, I go through that shit,
Exactly.
Right.
pretty much. So
Exactly. And definitely stick with it, man. I mean, that's, if there's one thing we learned as a podcast, I know Luke would agree too, is like, we went through this, your episode here, we're recording is episode 158. This is 158 episodes. And what we gone through as a podcast doing so many episodes is there was a time where like we hit like a wall, if you will, and we were like, oh, maybe we can like shift the way we're doing things and talk about this instead, and all that, and we found that not to do so well, and once we shifted more away from the delivery content, that's when it kind of went downhill. And then Luke and I took like a little 1-year hiatus, 2-year hiatus, however long it was. And then we started it back up again, and we started back up the podcast, more focusing again on delivery stuff and coming back to where we came from. You know what I mean?
Mm.
It's
Yeah.
what made the podcast what it was. And you
Right.
know, what you're doing with your Amazon videos, it's what's making what you're doing what people love, you know?
Yeah, and what a lot of people don't know is before I started posting Amazon stuff, I already had like 100,000 followers. And with I still have it on my whiteboard right here. So last year in May, I was at 113,000 followers, and I was telling my girl, I was like, I need to get more followers. I have to,
Right.
but I changed my mindset to where I just want to post stuff to make people relate, to make them laugh,
Mm,
and that just in itself, doing it for the right reasons, it's what's got me to where I'm at.
of course.
But it's just um yeah, sticking to what. Oh, okay. So like I was saying, like I already had 100,000 followers, but most of that audience was because I based it off of toxic relationships.
Mm.
But I stopped posting for like because I started in COVID. I stopped posting for maybe like a year and a half. Once I got started in Amazon, and I think you mentioned this, that you want to talk a little bit about how I started posting, but I'll
Yeah.
just kind of throw it in real quick. I just you know I didn't know how to record anything. I just put my phone down, made a little videos here and there, and they just started picking up. And little by little, I was just like, all right, let me try to see where it goes.
Sure.
So that's kind of how if anyone that's kind of words of encouragement, if anyone that wants to make content, and I have a lot of people that message me like, I want to do this, I want to start making content, I want, like, how do I do it, what camera's the best, what's this.
Mm,
The main thing is just start. You'll learn along the way.
of course.
And just try to resonate with people, try to relate with people, and the only way you're gonna know is just by doing it, because the thinking and saying you're gonna do it is not. You got to just put it into
Mhm.
action.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I can relate to too how you're talking about, you know, the reason doing it, obviously to make something that somebody, you know, that people relate to, and then also making people laugh. And so I'll share a little quick background story with me. When I first started at UPS, uh that following peak season, I ended up making a Christmas video. And I ended up, so I'm a musician, so I can, you know, I know how to play all these instruments, yada yada yada, whatever. And I ended up making a parody song to Santa Claus is Coming to Town, and I named it UPS is Coming to Town.
Mm.
And I ended up going all in. I recorded the music. I even made a music video to it. And you know, there was some there's all these different shots from being inside of the building to going out on the road. And it picked up steam after I posted it, and it got to the point where my district manager saw it, and he wasn't so happy about it. And
Oh wow.
to where my building manager is calling me at like 10:30, no, like one night, and I was like, listen, I just got a phone call from, you know, my boss, and I need you to take the video down, you know. But
Wow.
like, it had good intentions to, because you know, peak season's obviously always the hardest. That's the hardest time of the year for us. It's the heaviest time of the year, and you know, all I wanted to do was make people laugh, you know, because it's a funny parody song. And unfortunately, UPS has strict rules when it comes to some things, and you know, that was that. I don't know. That was one of them, I guess. So
I had that recently happen to me, and I was pretty pissed off when my DSP told me I needed to take a video down, and I was
mm,
just like, I was literally about to be like, "Fuck you guys! I'm not taking anything down. Like, you guys want to come after me or fire me, whatever. Like, because you know, I went from working 4 to 5 days to now where I work 1 or 2 days, and I'm mainly focusing on content, and it's just because I feel like I have, humbly saying, like, I feel like I have a presence to where, you know, I know how to make videos. I mean, I haven't figured out the whole algorithm thing, but
hmm
for them to tell me I need to delete, you know, something that I created to just to help someone laugh or
right.
whatever, but yet you're unwilling to meet the demands that your drivers are asking for, like when it comes to better work, safer working conditions, higher
Mm,
pay, that type of stuff. And I always try to make sure I'm respectful of people's privacy,
Mm-hmm.
of not invading, you know, yeah, invading people's privacy, not taking, uh, putting people's addresses,
Of
um,
course.
but it's like that to me was just. I think that's also a reason why I kind of steered away from the Amazon videos, but
Mm.
um, yeah, like I was literally about to just say fuck Amazon and just go my way, but my girl was like, just calm down. So
Oh yes.
yeah,
Yeah, no, dude, I feel that because it's like really take it down, really.
yeah,
There's nothing wrong in it. It didn't show anything. Like you said, like I was aware of that too when I was recording it. I'm not gonna put someone's public information on there. You know what I mean, or anything like that. And I didn't, but I don't know, whatever. That was like 9 years ago now. So it's just like, God, yeah,
So I got a question for you guys. So
sure,
you guys are on 158 episodes.
yes,
So because I'm trying to do the whole podcast thing, and it's hard, man. It's the because we're already an hour and 8 minutes in,
yep,
and I have to when I have to edit, even 30 minutes, I'm like, Jesus, like this is like
yeah,
having to, and it's like all this is it's another job. The job that we have already, being out on the road for as many hours as we are,
yep,
like to come home and do this, like just sitting down makes you tired enough, but then having to be mentally involved in editing and all that stuff, it's I give you guys a lot of credit because it's not easy, but it does get easier as the more you do it. So
yes,
just
yes.
But
keep
Thank
it
you,
up.
thank you.
it's Dave. Yeah, for me, I've always said I've used this term, and I feel like I've gotten slightly better. But I've always used the term with all this stuff with editing or anything technological at all. I said I'm like the kid in the swimming pool with the floaties on, just getting led around by their parrot, just floating around the fucking. Dave does well. Dave does well. I try more other than just aside from videos and stuff to reach out and get people on and do. But anyways, yeah, it is. It's a lot. It is a lot of work, but it's. We've always enjoyed it, and when we, it's just at this point, it's just kind of become almost. It's almost become, I don't like to say routine. It really, I mean, you just kind of get it in. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to say it's like easy as like brushing your teeth or anything. It's routine, but it's still work. But it's, yeah, I mean, we started in 2020 and yeah, just keep going as long as we can, as long as
That's it.
people are willing to listen.
That's it. And that's one of the biggest things too. Like you were talking about, just one, just if even if one of your videos just makes one person smile that day, like it's worth it, and that's we hear the feedback from our listeners too about this, and what they love about that, and how, man, this part really made me laugh. Like I couldn't even see when I was driving the truck because I had tears in my eyes from crying so hard. You know what I mean? From like laughing so hard. And
Mm,
it's if you're able to do it, and like you said, it gets better as you go on. Keep it up, man. So
yeah.
yeah, cool. Any other questions for us?
No, I mean that's pretty much all I got. Just the consistency is what's gonna get you farther than what
Definitely.
most people aren't willing to. They try the first time, doesn't work out, they give up. But
Mm-hmm.
you get just
Right.
gotta keep planting those seeds, and the more you water it, the more you know kind of tend to it and care for it.
Yep.
It's what's gonna grow. But you're in control of it, so
100%.
um yeah. So
Hundred
good
percent.
stuff, guys. Good stuff, guys. I appreciate you guys having me on. It's a pleasure, and even though we wear a different brand on the shirt, still understand. You
Absolutely,
guys.
man.
Definitely.
So I appreciate it.
Definitely. And hey,
Yeah,
listen, if
we
you ever
appreciate you
want to
coming on,
do
man.
content together, brother, if you ever want to make a video, We're a bunch of good guys over here. If you want to have some UPS, Amazon type of connection, you message us, buddy. Luke and I will definitely hop on there with you. So
yeah, let's do it. We'll talk.
Sure.
We'll talk about it.
hell yeah.
Sure.
Tony, thank you so much, buddy, for taking the time and coming on, man. Listen, we'll be in contact with you though. Following this up, we're gonna post some video stuff from the episode and everything like that, and we'll definitely send it your way. So
Cool. Appreciate it, guys.
cool. Tony, thank you, man. We'll catch you later.
Thank you, guys. Have a great
Peace,
Sunday.
Tony.
Thanks, you too.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.